There is a tradition that the Jewish people bless the new months of the Jewish calendar before they begin, at the Shabbat that precedes the new moon. With Rosh Hashanah, that practice is set aside because tradition holds that we do not need to bless that new month. We don't stop and sing the liturgy that asks God to make it a good month, that asks God to provide us with blessing, that we should know lives of health and vigor, to make a parnassah, to make a living, and to fill us with a love of Torah and a pursuit of commandments. We ourselves are busy preparing for Rosh Hashanah and for Yom Kippur during the month of Elul. And so there's no Shabbat Mivarchim Chodesh. There's no standard stopping on a Sabbath to bless the new moon that will be the new moon of Tishrei, which will be the first of the year, Rosh Hashanah, in that sense of counting our sacred years, as it will be 5781 this coming year. Instead, the tradition holds that God comes and blesses the new month and says, soon, my children will be coming even closer to continue trying to find me in the field. HaMelech B'Sadeh, the tradition holds, the great King of Kings, the all-powerful, the one more powerful than any human ruler of any sort, comes and is accessible in the fields of our lives, in the landscapes of our souls. And God blesses the new month and says, you will experience blessing if you only come nearer to me. In Sha'arei HaMoedim, the exploration of Chabad Hasidism about the holidays, chapter 1 of the volume on Rosh Hashanah explicates the tradition that God blesses this new month of Elul, and we do not do so with blessing the new month. Hata'am le'i amirat birkat hachodesh b'shabbat shelifnei chodesh Tishrei kederech shenoagim b'shabbatot shelifnei shar chodshei shana מסר רבנו הזקן ששמע מהמגיד בשם הבשת. What is the reasoning behind this minhag, this custom we have, this practice we have of refraining from blessing the new month, despite the fact that we bless every other of the months in the Jewish year? The great leader of our community received from the Maggid of Mezrich this tradition, who received it from the Baal Shem Tov. HaChodesh HaShvi'i shehu HaChodesh HaRishon mechodshei HaShana, the seventh month, which is the first month of the year, that in of itself deserves a whole different exploration, but we won't get into it. The seventh month is Tishrei according to the Torah. The first is Nisan, Passover, and there were 4 different Rosh Hashanahs according to the Mishnah. Now that we've got that straight, back to our inyan, back to our matter of the blessing for the new month, which God blesses instead of us for the new month of Tishrei, Rosh Hashanah, for the accounting of years. HaKadosh Baruch Hu ba'atzmo mivarcho b'Shabbat mivarchim, shehu HaShabbat ha'acharon dechodesh Elul. Here's an insight. God blesses the new month of Tishrei on the very last Shabbat of the month of Elul. Uvechoach zeh Yisrael mevarchim et hachodeshim hadasar pa'amim bashana. That allows for the Jewish people to find the strength to themselves bless the remaining 11 months of the Jewish year. mitbatet birchato shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'Shabbat mevarchim chodesh Tishrei. And how does God bless the new month? Does God use the liturgies that we've poetically produced here down on earth? Kativ atem nitzavim hayom. It's linked to the parsha. This week's parsha, Nitzavim. You're all standing here. The hayom kai al Rosh Hashanah shehu yom hadin. That there's a clue in the language of Parshat Nitzavim. You're standing here before me. That is, you stand and come before me, each of you, each one of you, precious to me, God says, on Rosh Hashanah, which is the day of judgment. V'tirgem Yom Din Araba, and it's a great day of discernment. V'atem nitzavim kayimim v'omdim, and you still come, and you still stand here, and you're willing to accept a little bit of that sense that I, God, am not only the God of mercy, but you accept some sense of God's judgment in your lives. ובשבת שלפני ראש השנה שהוא השבת האחרון לחודש אלול קוראים אז פרשת אתם ניצבים. That's why we read Parshat Nitzavim on the last Sabbath of Elul, the one right before Rosh Hashanah. Zeu birchato shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that is the blessing of God. בשבת מברכים חודש השביעי שהוא המושבע והמשפיע ברוב טוב לכל ישראל על כל השנה. That the Jewish people is promised, and God takes the solemn oath to deliver goodness and to fill our lives with gladness and to fill our lives with God's presence and mercy, and at the right times, in the right measures, the judgment we need in order to help us live our lives in a most holy way. Like when Moses called us to stand before all of his teachings, like when the first generation passed along to the second generation, the incredible Torah that would help guide them as they inherited the promised land literally, and the promised land metaphorically. As we inherit the promised lands of our lives, as we think of ourselves as the men, the women, the children who come before God at Rosh Hashanah, each one of us precious to the Holy One, we get a sense that God is indeed blessing us. And we are assured that God is blessing Tishrei when we read Parshat Nitzavim this Shabbat. May we feel that sense of blessing and being blessed. May we find the strength for this upcoming Rosh Hashanah to stand before God whole and ready to receive God's mercy, to receive God as the ultimate judge of all the earth. And may we also have the strength to continue on forward, fortunate to be able to gather, please God, physically. May we be able to this year experience coming back together to bless the new months of our Holy Jewish calendar and to enjoy each month in its fullness, like the moon goes from being new to that full, bright or bashamayim, light in the heavens. May this year's reading, may this year's timing of Parshat Nitzavim be an inspiration for us towards a very strong, powerful, light-filled, enlightening, divine New Year. Shabbat Shalom.